Today on Mr. Media, I'll talk to actress Samantha Lockwood, star of the new movie Shoot the Hero, which also stars Jason Mewes of Clerks and Danny Trejo of Machete. Stick around. We're going to shoot you. So much media, so little time. Who keeps track of it all? That would be me. This is Bob Andelman, and this is a Mr. Media interview. You know, MrMedia.com, MRMedia.com. Stop by and check it out. There are more than 600 archived celebrity interviews for your listening pleasure. The show is brought to you today by thepartyauthority.us. Planning a wedding, mitzvah, or corporate event in the New York, New Jersey area? For any and all occasions, call the Party Authority nationwide at 1-800-DIAL-DJs. That's 1-800-342-5357, where one call does it all. Now, Mr. Media is recorded live before a studio audience of slobbering horn dogs in the new media capital of the world and home of the bestest team in baseball, St. Petersburg, Florida. Well, so what's a stunningly beautiful actress like Samantha Lockwood doing in a hail of bullets called Shoot the Hero? Well, breaking up, making up, and robbing a jewelry store with Jason Mewes, for one thing. Getting manhandled by Nicholas Turturro and Danny Trejo for another. She stars with those guys in this new comedy, action, heist flick, all those things, written and directed by Christian Sesma. It's out on DVD, and while it may not win an Oscar, it's a fun ride for a Saturday night date. Take a look at the trailer.
Be right back.
You're not going to go without me.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I know. I just want to be with you.
He's one smooth operator over there, isn't he?
Surprise!
I think I'm the lucky one.
I wish I could say the same about my significant other.
I heard that.
I know you did, that's why I said it.
You were an ass baby. Why don't you think about what that means for a minute?
We don't like to see you so worried. Come back to bed, Joe.
Boss's work is never done.
God, how did we get into this mess?
Can you grab me a blanket or something there, maybe? It's cold. I can see my breath.
These two lovebirds got something on, and I want it.
Look, this is a major misunderstanding.
When the cleaner gets here, we'll figure out what we want to do.
Who called the cleaner?
Shoot the hero.
This is my kind of place, baby.
Samantha is doing a grassroots campaign to promote Shoot the Hero and her jewelry line, Floorings, a style of jewelry that holds water and living flowers. And this week, she landed the plum role of silent movie star Mary Pickford in a biopic of the actress's life. Samantha Lockwood, welcome to Mr. Media.
Hi. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Hi, Samantha, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good to have you.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
I appreciate your time, and I got to ask you, what is and pardon my language, but what is a major babe like yourself doing in constant crossfire?
Surviving. The film Shoot the Hero is just a fun action shoot 'em up kind of movie, and my role was to play Jason Mewes' fiancée, and she's sort of this uptight. I wouldn't say she's not the B word. She's not a bitch. The B word. I don't have a problem with that word, but I have a problem calling Kate that word, because she's actually a girl who's just frustrated in her relationship. And it's what I think a lot of girls go through. She's dealing with, how her fiancé spends his time on video games, DVDs, and, spends his time kind of still trapped in thinking like a kid being a kid, and wants him to kind of grow up and become more mature. And through the course of the film, they learn to appreciate each other. He becomes more of a man, and she becomes more of a feminine, soft, easygoing kind of girl. So it was a great character to play because she has a nice arc. And I only wish we got to do more, Nate and Kate. I wish we got to see more of that in the film. The film is really, really directed towards an audience of, teenage guys and girls and people in their 20s and 30s. It's got a lot of that, like, fraternity boy type humor, sort of like it's got a lot of guys, a lot of male cast and male humor.
It does at that, and I noticed that at one point Jason even has a conversation about superheroes, which kind of a trademark of his and the Kevin Smith movies. Was Jason somewhat out of his comfort zone in this role? This was very different than playing Jay in the Silent Bob movies.
He's always comfortable. I don't think he's ever out of his comfort zone. He's one of those kind of people who's very comfortable with who he is, and I would say that it's out of the normal range of character. It's actually the polar opposite of what he usually plays. He usually plays a really slick-talking, smart-mouthed, kind of cool cat, and he's really not that guy in this film. He's the polar opposite. He's kind of a wimp, kind of a dork, kind of a geeky guy, wears glasses and, dresses like he's going to the office, and he doesn't really, speak up in front of his girlfriend. You get the feeling that he does what she wants and when she wants, and that's their dynamic in the beginning of the film, and then you see how that really changes and how they come to appreciate each other through a journey that is not necessarily an emotional journey, through a journey of basically a heist. So, yeah.
Well, it seems like in the Jay and Silent Bob movies that he plays himself. In this movie, for people who are fans of his, you'll see. I mean, he's actually got to stretch a little bit and do some real acting here.
He does, and I, for one, am proud of the fact that he did a great job. He did a fantastic job. I mean, I've seen all his other work. I researched him before we worked together, and I knew him from Jay and Silent Bob, but I tried to watch a lot of his other work before that. And when we worked together, I was really, really impressed with his acting and his ability to do something completely different. So he's a talented guy. He definitely is.
And what about Danny Trejo? Caught him at a great time. He's got Machete just came out. He's starring in that. What was he like to work with?
Danny was awesome. Danny was just amazing. I mean, he was so thankful to be on set every day. He's appreciative of every single opportunity he gets. He's what I don't know him well. I mean, we work together, but obviously you don't always get to know somebody well. But from what I gathered, he was a very kind person, likable guy, appreciative of, every day in his life. He never complained. He was always on time, if not early, knew his character, knew his lines. He was just, he was great to work with. And he really instilled in me, we did this scene together where I'm panicking. He's the bad guy, and he's got his, his hoodlums are going to kill my man. And Danny was great because he said, less is more. The more you can do with your eyes, which is something you hear all the time from acting coaches and from all actors. It's like the more effective you are, the less you can do, but still being really effective, the better it is. And so he helped me actually with that scene. He gave me a little coaching, because I'd never done a scene where I had to freak out, over, a monster or a death or something like that, I never had to really freak out on. And so I probably went a little over the top. And he says, no, just do less, it's better. And I appreciate that, because at the end of the day, it looked a lot better doing less.
And Samantha, you in turn returned the favor and gave him what, a yoga lesson?
Yeah, actually I did. We went to the pool one day. We were shooting on location at a hotel in the Palm Springs area, and we were all hanging out at the pool because all during the day we had the days off, and we were shooting nights most of the time. So he saw me stretching, and he goes, "Yeah, I like to lift weights. That's what I do. I lift weights, and I'm kind of losing my bulk." And I said, "Well, if you want something to do just here at the pool, just to kind of, be strong and maintain, I do Bikram yoga, and it's a really great exercise. It's actually not just stretching; it's a lot of strengthening too." And so I taught him some poses, and he's like, "Man, that's too hard for me. I can't do that. I'd rather stick to lifting weights. That's almost easier." And I'm like, "I told you it wasn't easy, dude." But yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was interesting.
I can see the headline now. Samantha Lockwood kicked Danny Trejo's butt in yoga.
In yoga, yeah.
Now, let's change gears a little bit. We've only got a certain amount of time left.
Sure.
You just landed a role in a Mary Pickford movie. Tell us about that.
Yes. This is one of the dream roles that I could ever have imagined landing. I'm so happy about it. It's playing Mary Pickford, who is, as some people know, and many people do know, a legend in the entertainment business. She's basically one of the first people who founded Hollywood. She founded United Artists and had her own studio with Charlie Chaplin and Douglas Fairbanks. She was married to Douglas Fairbanks. She was a 1920s actress who did black and white films, hundreds of them. And she was the second woman in history to get an Oscar. She also got an Oscar later in life that the Academy gave to her for her life's work. She's an amazing person to portray, and I feel like her story really needs to be told because she's a part of our history. She's a piece of Hollywood history who has been forgotten by the younger generations. I didn't even really know that much about her, but I knew her last name. I'd seen streets named Pickford, and I'd heard stories about her, but I never really knew who she was. So I got this role because I look like her, apparently, and obviously I've watched some of her film now, and I see there's a huge resemblance between us. So it was a big stroke of luck as well. And the guy who is putting it all together, Thomas Bond, owns the Biograph Company, which is the company producing this, and he's going to direct it as well. And he knew his father was an actor and knew my father, so he's been following my career because my dad was an actor. And now he said there's a role for my dad to be in as well, so my dad's going to be in this film as well. My friend Terrence Southern, who's also an actress and very famous online, she's going to play Dorothy Gish, another actress from the 1920s. And Amy Chadwick, another actress, sci-fi actress, she does a lot of sci-fi stuff. She's going to play Lillian Gish, Dorothy's sister. So the cast is coming together, and it's a fabulous project.
Well, and of course, speaking of sci-fi, we have to mention who your dad is. Gary Lockwood was in 2001, A Space Odyssey. Very famous actor for that part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a terrific actor. Not only was he great in 2001, but he's done so many roles, and he was a big-time working actor, and he's very good with behavioral acting. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a dream come true for me. That's one of my lifelong goals, is to work with my father. I'd like to work with my mom someday as well, but this, one thing at a time. This will be a great opportunity. Yeah.
Now, I had suggested that we had spoken earlier. I had suggested that maybe you guys could get Robert Downey Jr. to revive his Chaplin imitation, but you said that's actually going to be a big part because, of course, Chaplin and Pickford and Fairbanks did co-found United Artists. They were all very involved in each other's lives for a long time.
They were very involved. I'm not sure if that's the way he wants to go with casting, is to do like a big studio name, or if he wants to go with somebody who's more authentically authentically looks like Chaplin, because Robert Downey, although he portrayed him to the T, I mean, he was fantastic. I don't know which way he's going to go with casting. It's hard to say. I don't know if he's going to go for a big name like that, because sometimes that has its pros and cons, or if he's going to go for somebody who's more authentically, like I just said.
Still a great role. And before we have to wrap up, I wanted to give you a minute to tell folks a little about your other interest, which is this business you've created, Floorings. Now, I probably have not done it justice. Why don't you explain a little bit about what it is?
Well, Floorings is a jewelry line that I've created that holds water and living flowers. So, I'm wearing the necklace, as you can see. It's basically, it's like a little vase. I don't know. I'm going to get closer to it.
Yeah, I was going to say, just bring it up close to your camera.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, so the flower is in there, comes out, and as you can see, there's a hole. You put water in there, and then you put the flower inside. So you can wear orchids in it, and daisies and roses and all kinds of real flowers, or if you don't want to wear a real flower, if you don't have real flowers, you can wear fake flowers. And a lot of times I just wear it like this, and people compliment me all the time. They're like, "What is that? That's so cool." So
how long do they survive in the container?
They live all day, whereas if you pick a flower and you don't have it in water, it'll die within 30 minutes to an hour. So you can wear a flower all day. Essentially, it's and I have earrings too. I have some right here. Oh, there you go. Can you see?
Okay. Yep.
And there you go.
Well, folks, listen, we're about to run out of time, and I want to make sure everybody knows you can order the DVD of Samantha Lockwood's new movie, Shoot the Hero, which also stars Jason Mewes of Clerks, Danny Trejo of Machete and the Spy Kids movies, and Nick Turturro from NYPD Blue. It's in video stores everywhere, or you can order it online right now at a great price at MrMedia.com. And for more information about the movie, go to shootthehero.com. And you can also follow our lovely guest, Samantha Lockwood, on Twitter at Samantha Lock, or learn more about her jewelry line at floorings.com. That's FLEURINGS.com. And Samantha, thank you so much for joining us on Mr. Media today.
Thank you. Can I mention one other thing?
If you do it quick.
Very quickly, I just wanted to say that Shoot the Hero will also be on television, on demand, and it's being released through Warner Brothers on TV as well.
Oh, great. I'm glad you brought that up. All right.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you so much. Delightful to have you. Come back and see us when Mary Pickford gets a little closer.
You bet. I will. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye, Samantha. And, of course, folks, for more original interviews with your favorite TV and film stars, you can surf over to our main website, MrMedia.com. That's MRmedia.com. And you can now hear Mr. Media while you're on the go with Stitcher Radio. Stitcher is a free news and talk mobile application. The latest episode of Mr. Media is always available for you. No syncing needed, no memory wasted. It's available for your iPhone, your Palm Pre, Android phones, or your BlackBerry. And downloading is easy. Just go to Stitcher.com or check out the App Store for your individual mobile phone. And please take advantage of this other great offer for Mr. Media Radio listeners. Go to audiblepodcast.com/MRmedia to get a free audiobook of your choice when you sign up today. Again, that's audiblepodcast.com/MRmedia for your free audiobook. Subscribe to Mr. Media on iTunes and you'll never miss a show. Just search Mr. Media Interviews from within iTunes and subscribe for free. If you've got an idea for a guest, email me directly at bob@mrmedia.com, and follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Andelman. Thanks so much for joining us today. Always appreciate you giving up a piece of your day and sharing it with us. Thanks for listening, everybody.